podcast. This is a more obscure action movie I'm doing from 1995 with Jeff Wincott, Last Man Standing. Yeah, this is the movie with Jeff Wincott, not the Bruce Willis movie of the same name. It's a different movie. This is one that I've seen like a couple of times. I haven't done a podcast for it, so let's do it. It's about 90 something minutes. It's like 96 minutes, so that's pretty short. It's a PM entertainment movie, so those are usually way better than a lot of action movies that come out today because they have people that can actually act, like Jeff Wincott or Michael Dudikoff or someone like that. Yep, there it is. Jeff Wincott in Last Man Standing. So if you've never seen this movie, I think it's on streaming somewhere, but you have to look really hard because you're not going to find this on Netflix. They don't have a lot of obscure action movies from the 80s or the 90s. This also has some other actors in it too that I forgot to mention. You got Jillian McWhirter, Stephen Easton, Jonathan Fuller, Michael Green, Ava Fabian, and Jonathan Banks from Breaking Bad. This is when he was young in the 90s. So, and I miss movies like this. Hey, heterosexual guy, movie Any Day Over Wanted with James McAvoy. Yeah, or even that Den of Thieves too, because I know that Spanish guy. That's Robert Luzardo. He's one of those Spanish actors that was, American actors that was in like Short Circuit 2 and a bunch of other stuff. He's a good actor. I like him. Yes, this is low budget, but it's better than a $200 million budgeted movie that looks terrible, like Borderlands or something like that, with the marketing as well. This movie gets right to the action. You don't have to wait 2 hours. Also, this is better than Den of Thieves 2 because it's not 2 hours and 20 minutes. This is only an hour and a half. I miss movies that are 90 minutes. It's not a mandate. It's called getting to the point. We don't want to wait an hour to see the action, guys. I have ADHD. I don't need a movie to take its sweet time. And this is when they cast people of color and it wasn't a big deal. Now it's the only thing that matters now. It's like, if the person's not a color, you must acquit. I'm like, why? Does everything have to be diverse? No. It doesn't. You can't force it. It has to feel natural. And I guarantee you this movie's going to be better than Black Widow, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. Because you don't need a $200 million budget to have a cool action movie. Or a bunch of bintos that can't act. If they made this movie today, it would be an asylum movie or a hybrid movie or a movie on Ion or Netflix or something. And it would have horrible editing and bad action. Who directed this movie? Joseph Mirai. Yeah, he's an Israeli director. He did a lot of these movies back in the day. It was like Golden Globus. This is fun. Josh has not seen this movie, so I would recommend watching it at least once, Josh. I know you didn't like Zero Tolerance, but it's just because you didn't see the action for what it is. PM entertainment movies are not going to be for everybody, but this one is. This is an obscure movie that's actually good compared to some of the things I watched last year. Hyatt, that still exists. Long Beach. And Jeff Wincott's he's a Canadian actor. It's a good actor. The last movie I did with him was Along Came a Spider. I did that a couple of years ago. He was a side villain. I thought he was going to be the main villain, but he was not. I think it was him, or was it Michael Wincott? It was one of them. This has a bunch of movies on it. I'm probably going to do the original Little Shop next week. The original from the 60s. The black and white non-musical version. Again, it's always about money. Just take your share and get out. If this was me, if I was a criminal, which I'm not, I would take the percentage I get and I am running to Florida, guys. I am not going through, I don't go through the freaking technicalities. I'm like, I don't care. Money is not everything, guys. You know what's everything? Your health. Because if you have that, money's not going to save it. This guy looks like Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, this guy with the gray hair. He looks like an older Timothy Oliphant. You know, like Timothy Oliphant today. And these are R-rated movies. None of these PM Entertainment movies are PG-13. Well, there's a few that are PG-13, but most of them are R because they wanted to appeal to the adult demographic, not kids. Because now parents take their kids to R-rated movies because they're stupid. They don't take their kids to a PG movie like Moana 2. They take them to like Anora or that Better Man, which is not for kids. See, mustache twirling. Yeah, I'm not falling for this one bit. He does look like Timothy Oliphant. Oliphant. There's Jonathan Beggs. Yeah, he was a young actor. He was in Beverly Hills Cop, the first one. It was weird to see him with hair, and he was much younger, because people only know actors for what they do now, but they don't know that the actors back in the day, they did work that was different. Like Jeremy Renner did a comedy before he was in the Avengers. He was in National Lampoon's Senior Trip, which I have like, oh, that's Jeremy Renner when he was young. He was like in his 20s or something. I'm like, and Tara Strong was in that. And she doesn't do a lot of acting anymore on screen. She mostly does acting, voice acting. Because some people are too shy. I'm not. Look at me. Do I look shy? I didn't even shave this morning. Because I'm just like, I want to get this done. There's Jeff Wincott. Always liked him as an actor. Very underrated. I had to see something with action. I don't want to do another foreign movie. Well, I'm doing another foreign movie tomorrow. But I want to mix and match with foreign and American or Canadian action movies as well. E.T. I'm doing at the end of this month on the 26th. I miss movies like this, when movies could just be movies and people didn't have to bitch on the internet about them, especially now, because all they do is like, a movie's not even out yet and they're already destroying it in the internet. Yeah, I'm not part of that crowd anymore. I don't go on the bandwagon. I'm a leader, not a follower. That was an awesome stunt. Because there's no one black in the main cast here. That's why I'm doing this now. Because I got plenty of films to do for the month of February. Because I find a movie and I go for it. There we go. I need some water. Where's my water? Oh, it's up there. Again, another really good stunt. Because movies back then did not have to resort to, let's put a CGI man. That looks so fake and the audiences will be gripped. No, it looks fake, guys. We want to see real stunt work. Tom Cruise doesn't fake anything. When he jumps on a building, that's really him. When he's running, that's really him. When he's, strapped to a plane, that's really him. I don't want to see fakery where it looks absolutely fake. Like, at least convince me that it's believable. I know it's fiction, but make me believe. Stop making me... I could suspend my disbelief because it's a movie, not a freaking documentary. Run, Jeff, run. I don't know what his name is in this movie. Let me look. It doesn't say. This is really good. This stunt work, I'm gonna... It's been a while, because like I said, while this is no masterpiece, it's way better than an action movie that we get on Netflix today, where they get people that can't act being in the leads. Josh saw that Carry On movie with Taron Egerton. He's a good actor, but is he an action star? No, he's not. Doing 2 Kingsman movies doesn't make you an action star. Wincott's done this for a long time. You saw those women are just standing there. Yeah, just good. Stand there. Don't call the police, because that's for, again, another amazing stunt. Yeah, look. 2 grown men are falling out of the sky into a swimming pool. Again, don't try this at home, guys. Because gravity always wins. He got him. Amazing stunt. Because people think amazing stunts are in movies nowadays. I'm like, no. Back in the 80s and the 90s, they actually did this. It's not this... That was a good line. See, I like that simple one-liner. You don't have to be Arnold where you're saying one-liners every 5 minutes. Sometimes it's okay. She looks like Kim Basinger, this actress. She does. It's not her, but she looks like her. She has beautiful blonde hair. I'm heterosexual. I'm going to say things like that. She also looks like Penelope Ann Miller a little bit too. She's probably still attractive to this day, this actress. Because it doesn't matter if an actress is mainstream, independent, or they're just on streaming. If they're female and they have a beating heart, I'm in. And are not lesbians, I come running. I know, I agree, Jeff Wincott. She is sexy and gorgeous. Oh yeah, buddy. There's that sexy blonde hair and that beautiful white alabaster skin. Like I keep saying, the female body is a work of art. Why cover it? You should be comfortable in your own skin. This is a pretty hot scene. It's short though. It's not torturous. Mm. There's the belly button. I normally don't do movies with scenes like this, but hey, I'm an adult. I got no shame. Heterosexual love is what I stand for. Excuse me. And that nice soft music and beautiful breastises. Nowadays, they wouldn't have the balls to do a scene like this. They would just cut away because they're so afraid of heterosexuality. Even though this is it's the foundation for life, for procreation and life. Without it, this world would be in utter chaos. Mm-hmm. Get yours, buddy. See, there's no moaning or loud noises. It's just two people just making love. Again, that's how it should be. A man and a woman. Nothing else matters to me. Because that's what it's not a propaganda. No, it's the way of life. You can't change that. No amount of affiliations will ever change that. You don't need a villain that's like have a backstory of why he's the villain. No, that's just it's lazy. It's lazy writing. Because in the Fast and the Furious movies, I don't want to feel bad for the villains. They need to get theirs. It's a nice house. No, you don't. Glasses don't make a woman unsexy. Exactly. Again, another good line. Yeah, I do like mushrooms on a pizza. So I don't go like Mario. Mushrooms. No, I do love mushrooms on a pizza. I haven't had it in years, since like 2007. Because I want to meet more actors at Comic Con this year. I can't get this signed because it's a Mill Creek release. It's not anything too special because it's Echo Bridge. See? Echo Bridge. They release a lot of like direct-to-video films or films that were theatrically released, but or you know that you have never heard of. Them and Mill Creek, they release a lot of stuff. You know, more obscure movies that Shout Factory or Arrow or these other places, Synapse or whatever, that they don't release, or Finneker Syndrome. I know about these things. Hold on. I don't have to shave to do one of these podcasts because it's just a podcast I'm doing for an hour and change, and that's it. I'll do my next one tomorrow. I'm just glad January's halfway through because it's just too long. What I hate about January over something like December is that it feels way longer. It's the same amount of days, but it feels longer because nothing happens. January's long, guys. It's winter and it hasn't snowed much, so it's a disappointment when it comes to the weather. It's cold out, yeah, but it's not snowing. I want snow. I got some Shout Factory releases, but very few. Or Shout Selects, I don't have any of those. And this movie, the DVD looks good for something I bought at Dollar Tree a few years ago during the pandemic because I would see anything during the pandemic. Please. I like when people eat on screen, when they're eating something that's not disgusting. At least this movie has talent in it. It doesn't have a bunch of actors that can't act like nowadays. That's the problem. When did Florence Pugh become an action star? Because she did Black Widow? Yeah, that's not good enough. You can't act, okay? Half the stunt work was a stunt woman. It wasn't you. Scarlett Johansson had to work for that role. You didn't. You were handpicked because people don't know how to cast people anymore. We're 20 minutes in, so because Roadhouse was a lot longer than this. It was an hour and 50 something minutes. Unlike Mission Impossible 8, which hasn't been released yet, this movie doesn't cost $400 million. I don't know why it costs that much, heterosexual guy. You don't need a budget that big. That's like double the budget of the last movie, and I'm like, I don't see it on the screen. The turkey is not worth the millions that you send her just so she could be in this movie. She's not Rebecca Ferguson, okay? This movie would have to make $1 billion in order to make its budget back and make a profit. Which, yeah, good luck with that if the movie's 3 hours. I'm gonna wait till it's on streaming. I'm not seeing it in the theater and wasting my time. No Rebecca Ferguson, no deal at this point. She's the reason Fallout and Rogue Nation were so good. Because they added a girl that I care about that has an accent, but she's bad ace. But then when they kill her off in the last movie, I don't care. I know she had to do Dune. You don't have to tell me in the chat, Josh. I know. But it's still not fair. They should have just let her walk away after Fallout. They got greedy. Fallout came out before the pandemic, made a lot of money, and then they did 7, and it just wasn't as good. Sorry. It's not horrible. I'll eventually buy it, but I'm not seeing it for a while. Mm-hmm. And a film that actually has locations and not CGI backgrounds that look terrible, like Expendables 4. See, simple and to the point. This movie doesn't have to drag for 30 or 40 extra minutes to get things done. That's right. Taste my fists and feet. Yep. Here they come. They don't care. You ever seen Terminator 2? They don't care. Again, a real explosion. I miss those guys. You can't do it any better now than they did it back in the day. Movies are just better back in the day. They knew how to do explosions and stunt work and action scenes without making it look ridiculous, completely fake looking. Mm-hmm. $400 million for a Mission Impossible movie when the first one didn't. The first 3 didn't cost that much. These movies are getting astronomically freaking. The budgets are getting insane. Soon budgets are going to be $1 billion, and they got to make another billion just to make it stay afloat. Because movies are getting too expensive now. I could make a movie in my basement with $5, and it would be cheaper than anything outside. I could do a whole film on my phone, and it would be better. A whole live stream film on my phone. Yep, there's a lot of henchmen here. See, I could see this action. They don't edit it every 2 seconds. Actually, you could see the actors on screen. You could see the kicks and punches and stabbings and shootings and explosions on the camera. I wouldn't hesitate. I'd be like, you're dead. You're dead. There's always a hostage situation in some of these films. You know, this is either with a woman or with an old guy, an older guy. See, someone from behind shot him. Yep, Jonathan Banks is down and out. And it wasn't even the henchman that killed him. It was some other guy from behind. Yeah, that takes a real man to shoot somebody in the back. You heard what Bugs Bunny said. Yeah, I know, again. Again, Jeff Wincott's performance here is much better than a lot of people that try to act in a movie, and I just don't care. When I see Thunderbolts, I'm rooting for the guys all the way. Don't give a damn about the girls. None of those girls are going to intrigue me. Sorry. None. Not even Taskmaster, because in the comics it was a man, not a woman. A Russian lady who's attractive, but she doesn't had no personality in Black Widow. Her or Yelena. They're both rejects. Yeah. Yes. People die. It's just the way it has to be. I'm not going anywhere, guys. I just had my birthday a few weeks ago. I'm going to enjoy this year. This is going to be my year. Nobody is going to interfere. Nobody. Not people in my family, not my friends, not people that I know. Nobody. You're either with me or you're against me. It's just how it is. And I know you guys in the chat are with me because you go through the same problems that I do sometimes. Everybody goes through things. No one is free of problems. I get that. I get it. For somebody getting murdered and you're right in front of you. Exactly. That's why I couldn't be a cop, because I couldn't deal with the loss. One mistake and somebody that you know is gone. I can't deal with the regret. See, this has actual emotion. Just before New Year's, I saw the Sonic 3 at the movie theaters in 4D. I don't know. I didn't know they still had. I didn't know they still had 3D or 4D. Oh my God! Actual human emotion in this movie. See, these people act human, which is nowadays people are just superheroes. They don't feel pain. They don't get hurt. They don't even show emotions. I'm like, no, guys, I don't want robots. If I wanted a robot, I'll see the Terminator, or a cybernetic organism, or RoboCop. I'll see something like that. But even that has more emotion. I got emotional in that scene where they're shooting at him, and they're like, no, you can't do that. Again, that scene breaks me every time. I guess because the music is so bombastic and it hits me. Crying doesn't make you a biatch, guys. It's how you go about it. Everybody shows human emotions. We're 30 minutes in. In Texas, where I live, it's chilly outside. Well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be cold there. It's the South. Here in New York, it's like 20 degrees, 29 degrees. Police work is hard. Me neither. I didn't. I didn't. I don't. I didn't live so I could sit behind a desk all day and deal with people. I just don't want to deal with people. I'd rather work at a city morgue and deal with the dead, because at least they're not going to talk down to me and be loud, like the living, where people just won't shut up. My dad went to Canada one time. It's fine, Brennan. You don't have to tell me every detail. This is a chat, but for the movie, not to discuss your personal issues or whatever. We all do. Ooh, you can't say that nowadays. And this movie came out 30 years ago in 1995, so it was the perfect time to do this movie. Because this movie's not it's hard to find on DVD by itself. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie in years, in a couple of years. It wasn't like 10 or 15 years. It was like a couple of years ago. I saw it during the pandemic because I was so bored. And I just had to see it again. Yep, there's California. I think it's California, right? It's a beautiful woman. And this is the time that we didn't have cell phones, where they've taken over people's lives, or electrical cars were very rare back in 1995. And there was no Siri, there was none of this, all of these distractions. That's the problem with technology now. It could be a blessing, but it could also be a distraction when you're driving. Why don't you people learn how to drive without using a machine to teach it for you? You know? There's palm trees there, so it's either California or Florida. Uh-oh. Gasoline was $1.42 back then. Yeah, it's like double that now. She has beautiful hair. Yep, you get. Yeah, exactly. See, he's not stupid. I miss movies like this. I just wish that they would make them like this. I know you can't be the same style of film as the 90s, but you can at least try to make it less CG. Oh, excuse me. Trust me. Bad people are going to get what they deserve. A Motorola, that still exists, but their cell phone now. Will they do Comic-Con in my area? Well, they're going to do a Comic-Con in my area real soon. By summer. At least I was able to see this movie in peace, you know, without distractions. Yep, again, Terminator 2. Except this is, you know, a lower budgeted movie than that, and that was a few years after that. This movie came out a few years after T2. But even that movie had practical effects in it. Not everything was a CGI cartoon like it is now. That's great. Seaside. This could be California, but again, another really awesome stunt. This movie has aged really well. For 30 years old, it is better than a lot of films I saw last year. That's for damn sure. Or 2023. Or 2022. Where everything looks like a CGI cartoon and it shouldn't be. You can make movies practical again. Because even dramas on Netflix have to have freaking CGI, de-aging or whatever. You don't need that, guys. Make a good film again. Without all this digital fakery. Yep, there it goes. There's so much explosions here. Michael Bay would have an orgasm seeing this movie. Yeah, honestly. This is like a stunt director's freaking wet dream. It really is, because there's so many explosions. And it's what you came for. You don't want to watch this kind of action at the end of the movie. You want to watch it throughout. Because ambulance is too much. It's like the ambulance it's crazy. Because the ambulance doesn't run out of gas. Yeah, I'm not buying that, guys. Movies have to be over the top in a way that's just like, wow, you have to make everything be a cartoon. And it's not an animated film. That's a problem. Long live old cinema, man. Because no matter how bad movies are now, you can always go back and watch movies in the past that did it better. This is much better than that movie Lift that came out last year. Hollywood doesn't want to keep the budgets low for many nowadays because Hollywood's too lazy. Exactly, heterosexual guy. They think a movie has to look like a digital video game cutscene on the PS5 for it to look good. No. Dune Part 2 did not look like a CGI cartoon. It actually had practical effects. They had real locations, real costumes, real people on screen. The CG was mostly used for the spaceships and the giant worms. That's it. They didn't have to use like a CGI Timothée Chalamet flying or something. No, that would have been stupid. Do things with artsy and good visual storytelling. Mandalorian did that. Computers make people lazy now. Instead of just doing things with their hands, they have to do things with a freaking with a keyboard and a mouse and a webcam or motion capture, whatever you want to call it. Ocean Boulevard. That's probably in California. I'm trying to look at the license plates, but it's going so fast. This is a well-directed movie. It's edited well, and the action, some of the best I've seen this year of a movie from 30 years ago. Wow. That thing was stuck in my tooth for months. Good. Feels much better. I need to go see a dentist either by the end of this month or by February. Not the 11th. I have to go somewhere that day on February 11th. It's already January the 15th. We're halfway through this month. We're halfway home. Because there's 31 days in January. But, you know, before you know it, it'll be over. Again. And also, this movie does not need a 4K. Because you're not going to look better than a standard, you know, DVD or Blu-ray. It's fine, guys. I don't need everything to be in 4K. Because some things that look in high resolution, it looks way too fake. Like, you can see every grain and detail of the stunts. This stunt looks great even on this DVD. Here we go. That was incredible. Yeah, see this movie, Josh. If you've never seen it, watch it. Go in with an open mind, if you can, and see this on streaming somewhere. I was lucky to find this DVD. You see movies like this, and you miss days where they actually did stunt work and real cars. It's not Fast and the Furious where it's a cartoon now, because Vin Diesel is invincible. He can literally do anything. Well, Jeff Wincott feels pain and feels emotions, and he's not Superman here. That works because that's a superhero movie. But if it's not a superhero movie, why are people surviving driving off of a cliff? How? Or driving on a wall like he's Batman? Doesn't make any freaking sense. That's why Thunderbolts, I'm not seeing it the week it comes out. And also, for future reference, if you guys are seeing this later on in February, don't spoil Captain America, the Brave New World. I'm going to be off of the grid on those 2 days it comes out. I don't want to know about the post-credit scene. Just leave me alone. Don't go on my Facebook and spoil the movie for me. Good stunt work, man. You can't beat stunt work like this. Done with real people. There's not one bit of CGI in this entire film. That's awesome. That's right. Let the money flow. Let some poor hobo get it. Stupid. This is like the stunt work in Raiders when he's hanging off of the truck. That was awesome. Yeah, I agree. I agree that was a really well done scene. Again, where the hell, whatever happened to action movies like this? Even Die Hard with a Vengeance still holds up, and that came out 30 years ago. And yet movies nowadays are like, no, we're so afraid to get people in danger, we're going to get AI stunt doubles. No. AI cannot replace real. There's artificial, and then there's real, like me, with a brain and eyes and real hands. What's next? They're going to have AI babies? No. That doesn't exist. Artificial intelligence does not exist for human procreation. They can't replace it. Belmore's. We're 45 minutes in and we had already 2 or 3 awesome action scenes. Like, the action in this movie is fantastic. The plot is very basic, you know. Killer, the main protagonist is going after a killer. I get it. I've seen that before. But the action in this movie is a chef's kiss. It's worth the price of admission. If I saw this in the theater when I was 10, I would have loved it. Like, Speed, I didn't see it in the theater because I was only 9 when it came out. So, but if I saw it today, I would be like, yeah, I miss movies like that. It's still Sandra Bullock's best performance because she's not. She's the lead, but she's not a superhero in it. She's not a buffoon, you know, falling over her own feet like in Miss Congeniality. I don't know why that happened. I'm going to cut my hair the first week of February because I don't want to have my hair like this when I see Captain America soon. Mm-hmm. It's not. I have to open a window because it's just too hot in here. There's the house again. 4027. Trust me, I'm the same way. And what's wrong with having a woman that's attractive in a movie that I like? That's not a foreigner that I can't stand in the least. I'm gonna see Ballerina, but I'm gonna wait till I see what the running time is gonna be. It better not be 3 hours, because that last John Wick movie was too long. I was like, oh my god, just get to the end of this movie already, please. It's too freaking long. The action is good. It's just that their scene went on for like 5 minutes too long. We get it. It's a long staircase. And I don't think you need a Marvel stinger for a John Wick movie. You don't need it. Just get to the movie, get to the point, and end it. Please. We're like halfway through this movie already, and it's almost over. You don't need another hour to add it to the running time. Or 2 hours. You missed. Yep. Cock that gun and just go to town, guys. That, again. This is why action is some of my favorite movies of all time are action films. It's one of my favorite genres of film. Right below science fiction. Sci-fi is my favorite, no matter what. And action is like my second favorite genre, because it just they deliver. When they deliver, it works really well. That was awesome. Blood squibs. No CGI blood here. Take that, you worm baby looking douchebag. I know, guys, I'm silly, but I'm trying to entertain you guys with not much of a budget. I have my room, my posters, and my background, and a lens flare apparently, because the sun's coming through my window. But it's okay. You guys can still see me, right? Do it over there. Okay, that's good. They probably wanted Charles Napier for the cop, for the captain, but they couldn't get him, so they got another actor. 11:11. Even though it's sunny out today, it's freezing outside, so I'm staying home today. No way. Coke and the money. Yeah, that doesn't sound suspicious at all. She does look like Kim Basinger. Yeah, they probably wanted her, but she was doing LA Confidential, so she was filming it around 1995, 1996. And that was a good movie. I heard it's a good movie. I want to see it sometime either in February or March, LA Confidential. Because like I said, guys, even though LA burned this year, it didn't completely burn to the ground. California's still standing. Even through all these fires, earthquakes, and all these disasters, it's still standing. Annabelle. Her name is Annabelle. Well, she's a better Annabelle than... No, don't care. She's a better Annabelle than that doll movie that came out over 10 years ago. I heard it was boring. I'm like, yeah, horror should not be boring, guys. Because Conjuring was not boring. It was scary. Yeah, for better or for worse, guys. People don't understand that. That's what a commitment is. It's not just you until you get tired of the person and then want to divorce them. No, that's not going to be me. I'm tired of people being douchebags to each other and being loud. That's what I'm tired of. And people that can't be civil on the internet. They have to complain about something before it even comes out. I'm seeing Captain America. No one's going to stop me. Nobody. This is my year. I said that last year and they screwed it up. I might do some of these films again, but I'm going to do some of them in February. The next one I'll do after this, you know, in that set will be the original Little Shop of Horrors. Because if I've reviewed the movie already, I'd rather just do a podcast for it. Marriage should not be a mistake. I get it. Oh, she's a sharpshooter. That's cool. And they're out. They fell asleep on the bar in the barn. Again, real locations, real mountains, real trees. Buford Gas. Yep, another explosion. Yep, there it is. That was in the poster, one of the posters of them running away from that explosion. It's a good poster. Would have definitely rented this from the video store back in the 90s or the early 2000s if I could have found it. Because I actually saw this, I think, on YouTube a long time ago or on cable or something. It was, I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. When it wasn't in 95. I'm gonna give this an extra star on Letterboxd because it turned it. The action is a lot better in this movie than some of the movies I saw last year on Netflix, or some of the films I saw on 2B or whatever. Yeah, also you could say that again, sister. Well, it's 11 o'clock, so let me eat something. I got some breadsticks here. Yeah, what's up, Doc? These breadsticks are pretty good. See? It's the little things in life I enjoy. I don't have to eat caviar and drink champagne. That's not me. Kaz. Hold on. Some water. Ah, that's good. Nothing beats a bottle of water when you're talking for almost an hour. Well, this is not a PG-13 movie. Yeah, I'm glad I rewatched this. It's been so long. It's been a couple of years. Because I miss movies like this. I do. The theaters, when they have only one action movie in the theater right now, and it's a sequel to a movie I haven't seen, that's a problem. Nothing against Gerard Butler, because I've seen his action films before. I enjoyed Gamer, as underrated as it is, and I enjoyed the Fallen movies. Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, and Angel Has Fallen. They're not masterpieces, but compared to some of the other films I've seen in the past, they're way better than a freaking like a Borderlands or something like that. I could lie down a little bit. The movie's almost over. I could eat a pizza right now. Pink Motel. When I do Deadpool Wolverine, everybody's going to be watching it. Oh, trust me, I'm going to go crazy for that movie. I'm just not doing it until February or March. I'll find a day. "61 minutes in, we're in the third act already. Wow, that was pretty fast. See, 96 minutes is bearable. 2 hours and 36 minutes is not, guys. That's too long to ask for an audience member to sit in the theater for that long, and it's boring. I'll be with somebody I can trust. And this actress, even though she's not a girl boss character, which I'm very happy about, but she's a very lovely woman that can act, which is more than I could say for some of the women I had to see act last year. Yeah. Talking like this, that's not acting. That's being monotone and boring and unappealing. Do something to interest me. Wincott smokes a lot in this movie. I'm glad that they don't smoke in action movies as much as they used to because that's bad for your lungs. Even if it's a, even if it's herbal cigarettes, I don't put cigarettes in my mouth. I put them out. I care about my lungs. I don't want to be coughing like this for the rest of my life. So I'd rather not vape or smoke ever. My lungs will thank me later when I'm in my 60s and I can still breathe. And I'm not breathing through tubes in my nose or my mouth. Yep, it's LA, all right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. More smoking. Mm-hmm. Tattoos could be suspicious. Mm-hmm. See a tattoo artist. See, it's a short scene. The scenes don't drag out. Nowadays, they think that long scenes mean it's substance. No. Megaflopolis could tell you that otherwise because there's scenes in that movie that I saw on clips on that I'm like, wow, this scene could have been shorter. She has a dot on her face, like the right here, a beauty mark. She's a beautiful woman, man. I could not get enough of this. This actress should have been in way more films than freaking Florence Pugh, or or Vanessa Kirby, or these other girls that can't act. Not to me, anyway. More of the female body. Some of those are fake, though. Don't worry, you're not going to see anything YouTube because I know if you show any insignias or something racist or any skin, you get flagged. Well, you're not seeing anything. I am, because I don't show clips of that because I don't want to show censor bars. I don't have the technology for that. Sorry. Yeah, put out a cigarette. Okay, that was a funny line. See, and this movie doesn't. Not every action movie needs to be a Marvel movie, guys. Stop with the topical humor. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it does. In Deadpool and Wolverine, it worked, but Alien Romulus putting jokes in there would not work. Or something like some of these Netflix movies where they have like Marvel style dialogue, and it's not a Marvel movie. Here we go. Gecko Chop, baby, yeah. That's from Gex. Yeehaw. This scene's a little bit dark, but it's not as bad as Solo. At least I can still see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And unlike Steven Seagal, who got fat and old and lazy, Jeff Wincott has never been lazy in a film. No matter what film he's in, whether it's good or bad, he's always going to give something. Seagal's fat and old, and he just needs to retire and leave us alone and give the action to the professionals, people that can actually act and not talk like this for every movie. Because Wincott doesn't dub his own voice and sit on his butt doing nothing. He worked for this role. Mm-hmm. Haha, gotcha. 70 minutes in. Mm-hmm. And I like the score in this movie. It's very underrated. See, people just die. They fall down. You don't have to see them dying for like 5 minutes straight. Because movies back then didn't waste our time. I know Die Hard with a Vengeance was over 2 hours, but it wasn't 2.5 hours, guys. Even the longest Die Hard movie, the first one, I think, it's not 2.5 hours. It gets to the point pretty quick after the opening. Yeah, they had cell phones back then, but not iPhones in 1995. And this movie's not laughable like Samurai Cop or something like that, where you got a guy wearing a wig and there's bad editing and bad acting. Yeah, this isn't like that. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Yep, liar. And he's a good actor. Lasardo is a really good actor because I've seen him in a lot of films and TV, and I'm like, yeah, see, he can act. He's got tattoos all over his body, but at least he can act. Unlike freaking Diego Luna, where I was in Star Wars and you die. So suck on that. Because in Rogue One, you know what happens to him. So Andor, yep, there we go. The girl actually does something in the movie, but it doesn't make her a girl boss. It's still Jeff Wincott's movie. She's along for the ride, but she's not like taking over the movie like they do nowadays, where everybody is tired of girl bosses. That's why Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim was a failure. Yep, take that. The Bounty Hunter movies, I want to do that too. I haven't done those films yet. You know, the lesser action movies that people have never heard of, because I like to rewatch them. Take that. Hmm. I have enough movies to last me till 2029, guys, because I bought a lot of physical media in the past 22 years. Close to 23 now, this year in the spring. People don't want $100. Nowadays they would, but back then, I'm not doing a podcast Friday because I'm going somewhere, so don't expect me to do a video that day. I might shoot a video where I'm going, but I'm not going to do any live streams. Hmm. Yep, he got away. This is fun to rewatch this. This is how I like to do my commentaries, me watching the movie. Because if I show clips, I will get flagged. Sorry, but that's just how it is with YouTube. At least I'll give this villain some. I'll give him credit. At least he has some personality. He's not a robot. And Wincott, he is giving it his all. He didn't become a major star like Bruce Willis or Arnold or Stallone, but he definitely he's very serviceable and capable in these movies. He commits. Rock and roll, dude. He has the hair to rock and roll. See, a real bridge. Hit me! No, again, I'll get to those movies in the summertime because Batman Begins came out in the summer, and Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. I'm no way am I doing them in the winter. Winter's just too freaking long. Whee! Again, another car is gonna take it. Two of them actually. Mm-hmm. In slow motion, just like Inception. Ken, you can't beat this. Real cars. Even the birds knew that it was dangerous, so they flew away. And he survives, but he didn't fly. The car didn't fly. It was spinning around, but it didn't fly in the air like Fast 9. See, he's still bleeding. At least he's human. He's not a superhero. Mm-hmm. This year's my clean slate. The chat is pretty much dead now, but it's okay. Like I said, at least you guys joined me, so the movie's almost over. We're about 80 minutes in. So we got 10, 15 minutes left. Got a lot of tats. Hey, Network 98, you just made it to the third act of this movie, so at least you showed up. Hey, what's up? I'm doing fine, Network 98. I'm doing another podcast. I didn't do one for a couple of days, so, because, the last 2 days I've been just walking a lot. Yeah, I have. Thanks. I know. There's always, there is a first time for everything. Because you know who's going to go to jail and spend the rest of his life there? P. Diddy, because he's an idiot. Because he can't behave themselves. These celebrities think that they're above the law because they're celebrities. I'm like, no, you're still human. You mess up, you pay the price. Just remember that when you next time you put your hands on somebody, you freaking idiots. I don't put my hands on people. I'm affectionate. If I'm angry, then somebody's going to get hurt, and it's going to be when they deserve it. It's not going to be somebody that I love. It's not going to be some gay guy putting their freaking dirty dental utensils in my mouth. That's never happening again, ever, again. If I consent to get my teeth cleaned, it's better be a woman or somebody with a soft touch. No more of these freaking freaks. No more. I mean it. Or yeah, this movie's very entertaining. So if you could see this movie, I would recommend watching it at least once. If you could stream it or find it on YouTube or something, because it's impossible to find on Tubi or Netflix or something like that. Lasardo's bald now, but you know, back in the '90s, he had hair. Proof of fare required, of course. You can't get on a bus or a train for free, unless it's a shuttle bus. Yep, of course he's gonna die. Yep, another shootout. Because Roadhouse is mostly fisticuffs, and there was some shooting at the end, but in the first two acts, it's mostly just bar fights. Captain Planet, I remember that show. Used to watch it when I was a kid. Again, good stunt work. It works here. This reminds me of the scene at the end of Expendables 2. At the airport, it reminds me of this scene. So if Stallone was watching that in this movie, he probably got the idea from this movie. And still a much better scene than the one in Black Widow, because we knew that that was all fake. Mm-hmm. Top notch, man. Good thing the movie's almost over. You saw the fat guy, of course, the obligatory fat guy. Spear. Not him. This music is really good. Who did the score in this movie? That guy didn't even say a word, see? And Jeff Wincott produced this movie. He deserves it. Casting, costume design. Original score by Louis Febvre. Well, they did a good job. A train scene like the ending of Speed or the first half of Die Hard with a Vengeance. The train scene is still pretty intense. You're gonna pay, buddy. Of course he shot her. That, oh no, not that lady who was in the movie for like a minute. Catch him. Get him. There's some sound effects that are not really there, but again, it's a PM Entertainment movie. I know what I'm getting. Am I entertained? Yes. And it's not a CGI cartoon like Gladiator 2 or something like that. That's just dumb. How could a sequel to the first movie that won an Oscar, be a CGI monkey shark cartoon? Sharks in Rome during the Roman times, during the gladiator fights. No, there were no sharks back then. Not in arenas. That's stupid. Unless it's Sharknado, I don't buy that. Yep. Time to say goodbye. Yep. Next stop, death. Not as good as the death in the first Speed movie, but it works. At least the wife doesn't die like they do in other films, like John Wick. Well, you know, that's the whole reason he gets upset, because his wife is killed and then the dog is killed. So he's like, yeah, I'm done. You saw Last Man Standing. It's being kind of meta. This was fun. I'm glad I got to do this movie. It still holds up, even after 30 years. Gotcha. Yep, he punched the guy right in the face. That's how the movie ends. It's a good way to end the movie. No sequel bait or nothing. No Marvel stinger. Just him punching a guy in the face. It's like, once a cop, always a cop. Jeff Wincott's a boss in this movie. He really is. He's a cool boss. But thanks for watching, guys. The few of you that were here. Definitely watch this movie if you can. It's worth a watch. So, thanks for watching. Acknowledge me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to do Shaolin Soccer, a Stephen Chow movie. So, take it easy.